Here we are with the head coach of your St. Cloud State University wrestling team, Steve Costanzo, the Monday after the Black and Red Classic. Elaborate a little bit about the results of the Black and Red.
Well, I think it was a real competitive duel. It was actually pretty equal. Both teams won 5 matches apiece. We actually, there was maybe a few upsets, so to speak, in there. But it was competitive. I think it shows the depth of our team when you've got guys going out there beating past starters and so forth. I think that's a good thing. Creates or makes for a competitive room, and that's healthy.
Next question for you. Elaborate a little bit about the moves that you saw in the Black and Red. Any moves that you saw that was a trend throughout the whole duel, or any moves that you saw at a particular weight and you thought to yourself, that's something we really have to perfect for this upcoming Open in Iowa?
Yeah, I thought we could do a better job of controlling tie-ups. I think the guys that were having success were doing a good job of controlling tie-ups, and the ones that weren't were having a difficult time in tie-up positions. And another thing we were having a difficult time with is finishes. We were in on several nice finishes and just didn't capitalize. Many guys just didn't capitalize on finishes there. Another position that we felt was a common position that we need to continue to get better at is the front headlock position. So, you know, those are the things we were coming into today working on. We actually picked out individuals that maybe were having certain problems with some of those different areas and brought them forward, and we had everybody, even though we had everybody work on it, those are just common mistakes that or techniques that we have to continue to get better at.
First time jitters for the wrestlers that wrestled in the Black and Red Classic. You taking that into consideration at all? I know there was a couple freshmen that wrestled at the Black and Red. First time in a college atmosphere, and there was an audience there. Are you taking that into consideration depending on the performance they had?
Oh, maybe a little bit, but that's why we have this event. You know, that's why we do this event annually, is so that those guys can get some experience and see exactly how we do a walkthrough leading up to the match. So the next time that they go through it, they've already been through it, even though it might be just their second time going through it when we wrestle them again. But I just think it's you know, it's something that we got to do. I think at the beginning of the year, especially with our new people, we have a little bit of a system in place that we use in preparation for our matches. It's good for these kids to get an idea what happens day of a dual meet, and hopefully just continue to get better at it throughout the season.
Even though there are a couple wrestlers that might have done better than the others, how do you still try to keep this sport a team sport? I know there's a couple kids that probably did better than others at the Black and Red, and through when we've wrestled live in practice. How do you keep this as a team sport, saying, hey, even though this kid didn't do as great as he could, he's still a part of this team?
It's just communication. You know, we had some kids that maybe didn't perform their best, but you have to continue to communicate with them to say, hey, you know, you got to keep your head up, you got to keep a good attitude, keep going forward, keep getting better day after day. This isn't everything. Yeah, it's a start of things, but when it comes down to the end, we're going to look for some consistency. We got a lot of wrestling left before we make a lot of major decisions. And the thing is, we wrestled 21 duels throughout the season. So what that means is a lot of kids are going to see a lot of action, a lot of time.
Speaking of the duels, like you said, 21 of them. You have an open schedule. First, though, the individual tournament portion of your schedule is coming at you here these next couple of weeks. How is this individual tournament portion of your schedule? How does that shape the dual tournament team?
Well, we're going to look for consistency, as I mentioned. We're going to look for we're going to go back and look at head-to-head competition. We're going to look for common opponents. We're going to look for, of course, like I said, common opponent victories. We're going to look for the individuals that is performing week after week. The individual that goes out and places the highest are individuals that are winning tournaments to determine who those #1 guys are. So again, the Black and Red is a start, but as we get into these opens, we'll learn more and more about these guys as the season progresses.
A lot of these young kids might see some kids they've wrestled in high school at this Iowa State Open. What do you tell the the newcomers, saying that, hey, even though you wrestled them in high school, this is college now?
Well, I don't know if you say anything different to them. I mean, you want them to go out there, you want them to get a lot of matches on the day, you want them to technically go out there and work high percentage techniques, things that are going to work for them, have them wrestle in their positions, no matter who they're wrestling, and you know, just gain experience. That's what it's all about, especially with our younger guys. You know, they're going into these opens, haven't wrestled college matches. They need matches right now. You know, our goal for them is anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40 matches a year. So that's the key for these guys. Doesn't matter who they're wrestling. We're just wanting them to go get that experience and get those matches in.
Iowa State Open, the Harold Nichols Open in Ames, Iowa this Saturday, and St. Cloud State will open up their regular season. And the next week after Iowa, it's the Russ Griniker Open in Moorhead. Thanks for joining me, Coach.
Thanks, John.